What if I told you now was the right time to buy? But wait until you've watched this video to decide for yourself. Have you heard of the saying, buy when there's blood on the streets? The worse the market is, the better the opportunities are. Nathan Rothschild is credited with this saying, buy when there is blood on the streets. Whether or not Rothschild actually uttered these famous lines, it does reveal an important opportunity in terms of betting against market psychology. When prices fall, markets tremble, and a bold investment can yield a very high return. My name is Shane Fleming. I love to get your thoughts on the market in the comments below. Please do like this video. It helps with the algorithm and helps with the channel grow. I've nearly 20 years experience working in real estate, and I am not sure I've ever seen such division between markets. And I'm not saying that there's blood on the streets right now, but perhaps there is blood on some streets, and not every street is hemorrhaging, but some are. But right now, at the moment, there is a major difference between commercial and residential markets. I cannot recall a time when resi and commercial were so polar opposite. Commercial transactions are on the floor with the lowest transaction levels in years. Values are down 20, 30 and 40% in some markets. There is uncertainty around work from home, online shopping and interest rates. Residential markets are still very buoyant in a lot of cases. There are some price slippages in some areas, but in some other areas prices are actually rising. But is the uncertainty in the commercial market slowly creeping into the residential market? iRes REIT, a residential landlord in Ireland with over 4,000 units, share price is now lower than it was in 2014 when it was first launched, trading at 92 cents, down nearly 75% since its high in 2022. A client pointed this out to me during the week, along with making the case that investor demand has considerably weakened for residential investment. iRes' share price fall could be down to a host of reasons, from rising interest rates, caps on rent and shareholder division, but a 75% fall in values on a share that's tied into apartments is telling. Regardless of what some people might say, small landlords are leaving and selling up in their thousands. It was well reported that 40 to 50% of all sales last year in the private market were small landlords selling up. And that trend hasn't stopped. Some agents in Dublin are reporting nearly 70% of their sales stock is coming from landlords who are selling. So in some way, there is blood on the streets in the residential sector too. Small landlords are selling up. Investors clearly don't like iRes REIT. And investors are showing signs of nervousness around residential investments. The rental caps do have a lot to do with that. And that's because if your property investment cannot keep up with inflation and the rental caps are stopping you doing that, this means that you're holding on to a depreciating asset. And investors are wising up to this and are selling up. And they're also holding off buying too. It's not all doom and gloom, or it's not all blood on the streets in terms of the commercial market. Industrial units are still holding their own. There is some positive signs in the office and the retail market from the letting side, but the future is uncertain. And generally speaking, values are way down in retail, office and development land. And in some cases, the rents are down too. Slight side note, I'm talking about rents being down. If you are a commercial tenant or landlord and have a rent review coming up, reach out and we'll let you know how we achieved a 40% reduction for one commercial tenant and also a 98% uplift in rent for one of our landlord clients in the same month. So reach out to me over on LinkedIn if you do have a rent review coming up. On with the video. With all the turmoil in the commercial sector and even the residential investment sector, why is now a good time to buy? It might be one of the greatest times to buy now in the commercial market because there is blood on the street. Finding deals is still hard, but with offices trading at €275 per square foot in the suburbs, it would nearly cost twice as much to build it. You're effectively getting the land for free, and therefore potential opportunities are opening up. The same turmoil doesn't quite exist within the private rental market. So is it a good time to buy there? Well, there's a different type of turmoil going on within the residential market. Demand outstrips supply by a multiple. Mortgage approvals for first-time buyers is at an all-time high. I think last I saw 8.8 billion was approved for first-time buyers this year. Developers are struggling with interest rate rises, construction cost increases. So an increase in supply of new homes is going to be an issue for the foreseeable future. Liquidation of small builders is up 90% on last year. So even with all the demand for new housing, builders are finding it more difficult to deliver new homes and actually make a profit and stay in business. Developers have already warned the government that some housing developments are at risk due to high construction costs, slow planning and interest rate rises. Regardless of what the government is saying, very little is actually happening to greatly improve the supply of homes into the private market. While there are signs of uncertainty within the housing market in terms of prices, and some recent reports are suggesting that prices have fallen, and some are even predicting a crash like the commercial crash, I find it very hard to see past the huge issue of undersupply. And now might actually be the best time to buy. It's like that old saying, the best time to buy was 10 years ago, the second best time was 5 years ago, and now is the next best time. The market, of course, could crash. There could be a slowdown or a downturn. Markets do run in cycles, and it is inevitable at some stage there will be a slowdown, but I can't see it happening just yet unless there is a major international incident or the government changes and policies change. But right now, I can see houses falling much below where they are now, and right now could be the cheapest time to buy a house in Ireland for some time to come. I could be totally wrong in this, I've been wrong in the past, but weighing up all the odds, from a bookie's point of view, I think a slight price increase is more likely than a considerable reduction next year. And I see that for a number of reasons. Population increase, more demand. Family unit sizes has decreased, more units required. There's 500,000 young adults living at home, all wanting to move out, more demand. There's strong GDP in Ireland, more demand. Price inflation means the value of money is dropping and assets are becoming more and more important to hold on to. In terms of real terms, property prices have actually probably fallen if you weigh it against, or if you benchmark it against inflation. And therefore they're actually better value now than they were 2 or 3 years ago. Construction costs will remain high, reducing supply. Interest rates will remain high, again reducing supply. And there's more government spending on housing, pushing up prices and reducing the supply within the private market. Right now you have landlords selling in their thousands, helping supply onto the market, but killing the rental market. But if they weren't selling, supply would be even worse and prices would have increased even far higher. So when they have all sold out or have stopped selling, supply will come down, and it's hard to see where new supply will come in the future. Current owners are afraid to sell because they're fearful that they won't be able to find something to buy themselves if they sell their home. New homes are going to the state or housing bodies or build to rent, so supply again onto the private market for private buyers is going to be limited again in the future. This is why I think right now is a good time to buy, because supply might be even worse in the future. Take advantage of landlords selling up and investors sitting on the fence, because once they come back into the market, supply might be even a greater issue. On the commercial side, I feel like it's 2012 again and opportunities are slowly popping up. Hopefully you got some value out of this video. I'm shooting this video from my new office, which isn't finished yet, as you can obviously see. Probably will be the last place finished in the house. Perhaps it might come my YouTube studio a little bit in the future. So let me know if you have any ideas how I might decorate it in the future. Leave your comments below. As always, thanks for watching.